Hey, it's me, Latana on screen, and I'm back with another episode of Let's Unpack with Miss Lu, where nothing stays folded. Okay, I just want to say this week I've been feeling really, really down, and it's due to a lot of things, hey? But I want to say this. Um, so recently, I found out something. Like, I was just like, oh my goodness. My peers are, you know, doing better than me. They're where I want to be, you know. Uh, and I was really scared of like, oh, okay, yeah, my family's not gonna like judge me and be like, oh, yeah, um, you're supposed to have reached like a certain point in life and whatever and whatever and whatever. But they didn't, you know. I spoke to my mom and I was like, okay, this is how I'm feeling about the certain situation, and I would have expected. I don't know why I expected her to um, compare me to the person that I'm talking about, but she didn't compare me to the person that I felt what she was gonna compare me to. Instead, she was just like, "Everything is gonna be okay. You're gonna be alright. We're gonna work through it. We're gonna make some calls, and whatever, whatever, whatever. You're gonna work towards the goal that you want." But I'm saying, like, I don't want to be compared to my peers. I don't want to be compared to someone doing better than me. I don't want to be compared to nobody because no one deserves that. You know, I feel like the place that I'm at right now is how where I should be going. Like, nhamba, the place is right for me. You get. So I was just feeling sad, and I was just like, you know what? I need to focus on me, focus on doing better, focus on, not wasting time or anything like that, and sticking to progress, because progress matters more than anything else that you can ever acquire in life, And plus, it's better to actually go at your own pace than to go at the pace of others. So yeah, I will say this, right? Um, the week has been on and off, like it's been going sideways. Even last week's episode was late, but this is what it is. I don't let such things stop me from continuing, because at the end of the day, it's consistency over motivation, consistency over motivation, consistency over motivation. If I'm saying, oh no, just because last week's episode was late, I won't post anymore, da, 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 that's me backtracking. That's me going back and being like, you know what, I can't do this. I always speak life onto me. I always speak positivity onto me, because I know I matter. I know I matter. I know I deserve this, and I'm gonna make my dream happen. So yeah, that was just how the week went, and I was a bit upset, but you can't stay upset for long. You can't stay upset for long. So yeah, let me say this. Um, Another thing is, I wanted to grow like my pages, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm growing them. I'm growing them. Let me say this. Um, my success is me now. Like, I've started, because I don't know how many times I had said to myself, I'm gonna start, and I didn't. I don't know how many times I said that. I said I was gonna start my YouTube channel. I've always wanted to be on YouTube and talk and express myself, because I don't have a lot of friends, right? I don't have a lot of friends, but with having to speak and just because I don't love talking about my emotions a lot. I don't. I'm a person who just keeps to themselves and be like, you know what, another day we'll try again later. But I feel like with YouTube, I would have been I'm able to just express myself, express my opinions, and just share what I feel. So another thing was this. Um, I wanted to start posting on TikTok. I couldn't. I wanted to start posting on Facebook. I couldn't. I wanted to start posting on YouTube. I couldn't. And let me rephrase. Not that I couldn't. I didn't. because I was distracted by a whole lot of things, and I was just like, you know what, let me move at my own pace. I'm gonna move at my own pace, because at the end of the day, I will get to where I want to get to, and I'm always gonna put God first, pray about it, find new ways to like grow content, find new ways to like grow my page, find new ways for me to grow, you know. So I was feeling down, but there's an important lesson that I took from this week. Don't ever stop. You are more than what the negative thoughts are trying to like, you are more than that. So I didn't stop. I continued going, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be okay. So yeah, I feel like that was how I was feeling this week. And if you had anything that you were feeling this week that you felt like, you know what, I want to share. There's this pressure from work, pressure from school, pressure from this, pressure from that. I feel like you can share it down below. We can talk about it, and maybe share like how things are being settled, in between the lines. But anyway, I'd like to move on to the next segment. So this week, I'm gonna talk about what I learned. Right? I just wanted to say this. It's really crazy how when I go to a funeral, now when I go to a funeral, I always think about the time that my grandmother died. I don't know why. I don't know why. So in 2022, my grandmother passed away, and it was a really tough time for, I mean, like in our family and everything like that, because she was like the glue in our family. I'm not saying now that she's gone, like there's no clue or anything like that. No, we're still fine. We're still talking. We're all united, whatever. But let me say this: when there's an elder person in the family, everything just feels warm. Like everything just feels warm. Like nje, put the in the look. Like nje, yabon, the kids running around. Even nalum dalongam times when he or she's running around the house, you just feel like it's fine because it's got koko anyway. Yabo. So when my grandmother passed away, I was upset. Like it was a very like bad thing. It was sad. It was sad. So what I'm saying is, um, every time I go to a funeral, I remember when we were sitting under the tent. It's almost like I'm replaying a reel, of what happened. I'm replaying it, and it's like I don't know if it only happens to me or other people can feel the same way. Cause I just remember it, and I'm just like, shit, that used to be me. My mother, my auntie, my uncles, they were all sad that she's gone, and it was tough. It was really, really tough. And I can't help but feel sympathetic towards that family and the person who has passed away. I can't help but feel sympathetic because I'm just like, oh, shit, you know? Because yes, we're all gonna die. Our bodies belong to the ground and everything. But I don't think that anybody deserves, to lose a loved one. It's sad. Like, who gets at this? It's really, really sad. And I'm just like, I wish I was doing, you know, a lot more. If I was to have a superpower, I feel like I would make good people live. I would make good people live. That would be my superpower. If I see that this person doesn't deserve to die, I would make them live. Yeah, that would be my superpower. Making people live. Only good people, by the way. I'm not talking about the monsters that we call good people. No, I'm talking about good people for real. So, this week I went to a funeral, and that's when I realized that, oh, I'm this type of person, because I've been saying it, like being born, like time and time and time again, me being this person that, every time I'm at a funeral, I start crying because I start crying. I get emotional, and I'm like, they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. Okay, they don't deserve that. No one deserves that. So anyway, um, let's move on to segment number 2. So the big topic of the week is knowing your body as a female. So how well would you say you know your body? You know, I tend to ask myself this question. It's not a question of the week, but it's almost like a question. The topic is a question. So how well do you know your body? How well do you think you know your body, honey? Because let me say this. I'm so sick and tired of us not being like, educated and um saying things that are inappropriate and insulting and offensive to other people because we are not educated enough about the woman's anatomy. So I came across this post of another creator who was talking about, oh, this is how you make tea. And so she stitched the video, right? And I felt like she was speaking so much sense. She stitched the video, and the other creator was talking about, oh, y'all, this is tea for you to smell. Really, it to smell like roses and pumpkins and sweets down there, blah 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 blah. And then the other one was like, hey boo, guys, oh my goodness, who who said the vagina is supposed to smell like roses and sweets? Who keeps I don't know who, but like I finally answer. I just want the answer so bad. Who keeps telling young women or women in general, let me just say, who keeps telling women that your vagina has to smell like sweets? Who keeps saying that? Or like it's almost like a crime. Like women are not allowed to have body odor. I hate that. I hate that, like, stereotype that no, women are not allowed to have body odor. Like when a woman is beautiful, she's not supposed to have such and such and such. And it's like we all have odor. Okay, both men and women. Okay, we both go to the toilet every now and then. We both have things that we like. But let me say this: for the younger, um, like children, or should I say, for the younger females, let me say this: I feel like we should have been taught by our mothers, like, oh, like my mom should have been able to tell me that, oh, listen, when since you're growing up now, there's going to be certain things where like there's going to be certain odors that you don't understand, that you don't, there are going to be certain things like that. So I feel like parents should start talking to their kids. Like they should start talking to their kids, like and telling them, like, have the talk. The talk is not only about, oh, let's have a talk, but we're talking about sex. No, let's have the talk about everything, especially for a girl child. Let's have a talk about everything. Like, okay, listen, you're growing up, you're gonna grow some pubic hair, you're gonna grow some boobs, some hips, the buttocks and everything like that. Mfana bakhulume nawe. Hayi ukuthi okay fine. Every now and then uyamtshela ukuthi yeah, ungalala mfana udomitha. No. As much as you can tell a child that, oh, ungalala mfana udomitha, she's just gonna be like, let me see what she's talking about. Let me see let me see what this lady is talking about. Because there are kids like that. I'm not saying I was like that. No. But then let me say this. I feel like the parents should talk to their kids. I know it's a very like I don't even feel like it should be an uncomfortable conversation. If you give birth to a girl child, you should be able to tell a girl child, go to girl, things like this are gonna happen to you. And it's okay, it's natural. I don't know who keeps telling the females, good to know it's not natural to have body. It's not natural to have you don't, like you have to not shave. Like it's not ladylike to not shave. I mean, I don't care. I'm not gonna shave. If I don't want to shave, I'm not gonna shave. Call me dirty, call me whatever. I'm not gonna shave. I'm not gonna shave. You know. And let me say this. Let me say a story that happened to me. Right. So okay, fine. I had gotten my period. Right. I've always heard about it. Like I always used to hear about it. Because yeah, you're gonna get your period, and stuff like that. Whatever, whatever, whatever. And yeah, I got my period. When I first got my period, my mom was like, "Oh yeah, you're becoming a woman." That's what she said to me. And I was like, "Okay, if I'm becoming a woman, and then right?" And then it goes back to the vagina thing, right? Okay, fine. I think it was after my period, and then I just there was this distinct smell, like period blood, you know? And I was like, why do I smell like that? Right? Why do I smell funny? You know? And you know what I did? I took soap. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I took soap and I rubbed it on my coochie. Imagine. Jesus. I don't know what to say. But I took soap, I rubbed it on my vajayjay, and it was like the end of it. I was just like, yo, feeling myself. I rinsed that shit off and I felt like Jesus, I was dying. I was dying. Okay, I was dying because it was so hot. Like I didn't understand what was going on. But then it was later on explained to me that, oh, listen, you're not supposed to do that. Water is just fine. But then if I was told that before, do you think I was gonna put soap in my vagina? No. So that's why I'm saying teach your children how to be hygienic. Okay? Teach the girl child how to be hygienic. Teach the girl child that it is okay to have odor. It is okay. I'm not saying go around smelling, don't wash yourself. No, what I'm saying is be open to your child. Be open to even be open like to people around you. You know, like maybe like you have a sister, younger sister. Tell her this is how much is. You know, I have the same problem with someone that I know, but I'm not gonna, no, I'm not gonna do that. But let me say this, right? What I also hate is this: if you're a woman and you notice that another woman has a problem, instead of you just being like, oh, she has a problem, noted, you now go uyatshela anele mngane wakho lo melene ukuthi, oh no, lona umbonile yanuka, and then you start talking about her, gossiping, you bully her. No, 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 no. Do you know in high school there were a lot of girls like that, like they would bully the girls, and it was like, you're a girl bullying another girl, are you? Ooh. Anyway, that's just high school stuff. But at the end of the day, it is reality. It is reality. It's people's reality. Okay? And I'm just saying, like, let's be educated. Let's make sure that we know that we're not supposed to smell like roses, and especially on the vagina. Like, let's just stop that. Like, because it's like, ooh, we are so like, I don't even know where this bullshit came from. I keep asking where it came from. I don't know. I don't have the answer to it. So yeah, another thing, which, you know, we're still on this topic. You know, so let me say this. Let me say this. If you're dating a guy, right? And you're dating a guy, and then the guy that you're dating, oh, you should also know. Okay, so let me say this. If you are involved with the person, like I said, if you're involved with a person, before being involved with the person, you should know what pleasures you and what doesn't, right? This also goes with your body, because there are certain people that your body rejects. Like, you start breaking out, you start getting infections, you start because you and the person don't align. You need to start learning your body, what pleasures you, what makes you happy in the bedroom, everything, all sorts of, because if you don't do that, let me say this, if you don't do that, you're gonna keep sleeping with the person and then wondering, like, what's happening, what's going on, and stuff like that. But let me also say this: by pleasure, this is what I mean. So if you're dating a guy and he's like, oh no, I don't want this, I like this, and now when you are just sitting on the sideline, like, you're a character in your own, like, So let me say this: there's this one guy that I was talking to, man. Me and this person, we had never had sexual intercourse, we had never done anything. I was talking to this person. So when I was talking to this person, cool, I was like, oh, so he had thingies on, he had braces on. And I've never dated someone with braces. I've never. So I was just like, okay, cool, he has braces, whatever, whatever. I asked him a question. I was like, Hunty, let me ask you something. Do you give head with the braces? And he was like, I said, mm-hmm. Do you give head with the braces? And he was like, he was huffing and puffing, and I was like, why is this nigga huffing and puffing? I don't get the whole point of you huffing and puffing. Why are you huffing and puffing? So he was huffing and puffing, and he was like, and I was like, I need to know. And he was like, no, I don't like, Jay, like, and the facial expressions were what took me out first. Because if you had just said, no, I don't do that, I've never done it, I would have been like, okay, sharp, cool, asked another question, why, nigga had to be like, half and puff. And I was just like, see, what you're not gonna do is half and puff. Okay, fine. I'm like, okay, cool. Why? And he's like, oh no, I just don't. It goes for the same saying that I was saying. It was like he feels like, oh, that's too disgusting for me, and her pleasure is not important, so I don't need to pleasure her. And I was like, okay, cool. I thought to me, I was not even pressed about me because I knew with me and this person are not going to date because, like I said, I'm not dating niggas in my proximity. I've been saying this on the show for a long time. People in my proximity, it's a no flipping go. People in my proximity, really, I don't want to deal with them because no, 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 no. Like, hey, proximity dating, no, I don't want that. But then ask me when I said, oh, do you want oral sex to be done to you? Because it's like this. I would have understood if we were like, okay, cool. Or we is you don't do vele at all. What's now our phone? Yeah. It's a double standard type of thing. That person can get, but you can't get. I was like, oh. So when I asked the question, I was like, okay, would you like someone to give you head and stuff like that? And he was like, yes, that was the quickest answer he's ever given in his entire life. Like from the time we have spoken, that was the fastest, most like I don't know. I'm gonna the speed. Actually, the speed, man. It's not the speed. What's this guy name? The Flash. The speed. Wait. By the Flash, he was faster than the Flash. You see how fast the Flash is? He was faster than the Flash. That's how fast he answered me. And I was like, oh, so you wanted, but you can't give somebody else. Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But guess what? Me and this person were no longer talking because no, you're not about to do that to me. Like I put in a code that he was already ruled out because of the fact that, um, you know, he's in my proximity. That's the reason why he was ruled out. Because, like I said, I keep saying this. I don't want to date a person who's like near me. No, I'm fooling you because literally it just becomes crowded and it's a whole lot. No, I'm full no. So okay, cool. I was just like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay, we're no longer talking, And then he didn't seem that interesting because he doesn't talk. He barely talks. Oh, excuse me. Why do I keep burping? Woo! It's not ladylike. That's not ladylike. But no, let's be fucked it. You know. So another thing is also about that. Learn your body, and also be mindful of your own pleasure, girls. Okay, be mindful of your own pleasure. Okay, because you deserve. Girls need love too. Yeah, girls need love too. Let me tell you, like Summer Walker said, girls need love too. Okay. Thank you. Okay, girls need love too. So don't let anyone fool you and being like, oh no, you girls want a lot. Yeah, you're too mad. I mean, I can't do this because when someone tells you that, that means that they don't consider your feelings. They don't want to hear what you have to say. Just be like, okay, shut. Fine. It's not. It's. You don't want to do it to me. That's okay. I'll find somebody. I'll find somebody who will. I'll find somebody who will eat this cat. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. And by the way, I'm not saying jump from this one to this one. Okay, fine. For me personally, let me say this. I'm not really looking for a boyfriend because whew, I'm sick of niggas. I'm sick of these men. Anyway, so let me say this. I want you to be taught, ladies, and please, you can teach your child, you can teach your friend, you can teach your niece. You know, I have a niece, you know, and she's growing up. I'm her other mom, right? She has her own mom, I'm her other mom. And if her one mom doesn't teach her, the other mom will teach her, or the younger mom will teach her. Do you get? Because I want her to be hygienic, you know. I want her to be hygienic. I want her to, you know, you get. So I was just saying, please be educated, you know, please be educated, educate yourself, educate your child, you know, educate your friend. And then please don't ever make another girl feel bad about, you know, something that's going on with her. I'm not saying go tell her, because nothing yasab. Let's say, okay, I meet a girl and she you know, something ain't going right, maybe like with the armpits, or like, you know, and then now I have to go tell her, Gucci, oh, excuse me. First of all, I would also feel offended because you don't know me. Why are you telling me what I stink? No, I'm not. What? What? No. So basically, what I'm saying is, even if someone like was to come and tell me that, I would be offended. Like I'm saying, right? And also now, I wouldn't go to someone and be like, "Oh, sorry." No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna look and be like, "Okay, she's the one who has a problem," and then be calm and poised. I'm not gonna now whisper to Anel, what now we're like we're laughing at that poor girl. Like, dude, oh, I hate being bullied. I've been bullied. I've bullied some as well. I think, yeah. I mean, let me say this. When I started being like, I was not a big bad wolf, you know, a big bad wolf, but I never really bullied someone to the core. I never bullied a person who was not a bitch. So I wouldn't say it was bullying. I feel like it was trolling. I would troll you. Bento troller, bra. You fucking crazy. Like, excuse me? No. No. You're not a celebrity here. You're not. So it's just the thing, Gucci, like, I hate people who bully other people for such things, because it's like, why? But why? You know, it doesn't make sense, you know? But anyway, that was this week's topic. Your body, the girlie's bodies, the odor, and how to always put your pleasure first. Don't let no man tell you that you're too much, or yeah, he can't do it. And if he can't do it, if he says he can't do it, that's fine. I don't have to compromise my pleasure for, oh, y'all. I don't have to do that. I don't have to compromise. You compromise it different. Because if we're compromising, then that means both of us don't get. That's compromise. You know, if you can't do it, that means you can't, right? You don't like the activity. Let's both not do the activity. Yeah, well, I could only one gets the benefit of the activity while the other doesn't. What do you think this is? Excuse me. No. No. Okay. But anyway, that's what I said, girlies. Keep your head up and don't let nobody fool you into saying, oh, no, you aren't you next? Because you're not. Trust me, you're not. Anyway, let's move on to question of the week. Question of the week. It's, who is your favorite parent and why? That's this week's question. What do you expect me to say? Let me ask you. What would you expect me to say? Who's my favorite parent? No, come on in. Who's my favorite parent? I'm gonna give you 2 seconds to think. If you said dad, you're wrong. It's my mom. My mom is my favorite parent. Um, why is my mom my favorite parent? Let me say this. I feel like, for me, the reason why she is my favorite parent is because she's a phenomenal woman. But I'm not saying Gucci doesn't have flaws, no, because if we go back, my mom wasn't well in the head. I wouldn't say yeah, no, I need some like no. But she wasn't really like, you know, she was a very strict parent. Yeah, well, but let me say this before I even talk about parents. Let me say this: to be a mom, guys, to be a mom, it's a wonderful thing. Not ukuthi sengikhulumela ukuthi ngifuna ukuba nomntwana. No, 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 no. I'm not saying also now you must have a kid. When you don't have a kid, no. I'm just saying being a mom, it's like wonderful, because women are. That's why they say women timbongoto, timbogoto. Imsati man ngikhuluma wait, timbogoto. Women timbogoto. Women are rocks. But I don't like that saying as well because why are we called rocks? Yeah? Why are we called rocks? No, we are not rocks. We are people. That's why, like, I don't like these sayings that like rocks and don't. I don't like that shit because that's when now, okay, your stupid boyfriend is gonna now take another rock and try to, oh, not even a rock, take away another rock. And that's when you pause a pass. Let's cut us in both and your poke and your loot class. Like, no, I don't even like that saying. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But let me say this: the reason why I'm like women are phenomenal, yeah. Because let me say this: a woman, a woman can't leave her child. Yes, there are some women that do leave their child. I'm not saying what every woman is innocent or what. But I'm just saying this: the same way as my daughter. Let me say this: a woman will have a child with a man, right? That man can be able to walk away and not claim responsibility over that child. Yeah, but he can still be a single man out there. Yes, he will boast and be like, oh, yeah, I have a child. I have a carry his big fat head. But what does he do for the child? Nothing. Nothing. You know? So for a woman, like, it's a lot. Like, you carry your child, first things first. You give birth to your child, another thing. You have to take care of the child, another thing. You have to show up to place, another thing. That's what makes you a mom. Giving birth to a child doesn't make you a mom. Let me just, let's not get confused. Giving birth to a kid does not make you a mom. Okay, but all those responsibilities do make you a mother. So I will always commend mothers. Like I keep saying, I'll always commend mothers because you see, me, a person who doesn't have a child right now, me, if I come back home and I'm tired, why not? Angidingi ukuthi ngiyendela muntu ukudla or ngogezisa muntu ukuthi ngiyageza ngiyendisa muntu ma-homework nani. Yabo, I'm just thinking about mama. When mom would come back from work, she would have to look at my face. Now I'm looking at her like, hey girl, hi. Lesikhathi udiniwe, uphethe the-stress takhe, maybe emsebenzini batshontshe imali. Ucabangela indaba yemali ukuthi okay batshontshe imali emsebenzini. How am I gonna get the money back? Kwenzakalani? What if I get fired? She's thinking of a lot of things. Ngala ucabangela umfana wakhe wokuhlanya ukuthi okay lo mfana lona ukuphi nyalo, uyobuya esikhathini la endlini, what if angabuyi nakhona? There's a lot of things she's thinking about, but she has a child to take care of. Unlike me, I come back from work, if I do have work, because I don't have work right now. I come back from wherever la ngibuya khona, angithi ngingena embhedeni ngiyalala. Yabona? Do you get what I'm saying? The life is different. Yabo? And even if, okay, fine, let me say now there's a party, yabo? There's a party, I can just wash my bums, head to the party. Unlike a mom can't do that. You know, a mom can't do that. She has to first think about a child. Umntwana ngimshiya kuphi? Umntwana wami uyoba adleni. Lo muntu engimshiye naye, is she or he gonna mistreat my kid? Like, you have to think about a lot. She has to think about a lot, like the protection of her child, everything. Do you get? Futhi, where she shows up, school trips, ngwe. Award, ngwe. Parents teacher meeting, ngwe. Disciplinary meeting, ngwe. What, ngwe. Do you get? There's a whole lot of shit that is put on the mom. Do you get? Yes, I live in a two-parent household. I'm not saying that my dad is not present. He is present, right? But the reason why I'm talking about my favorite parent is because of the qualities that the one parent, like, it's like this. It's like Sky. This is my mom. This is my dad. You get? I don't ever think you'll reach this point because as I'm 21 now, I don't think you'll ever get back to, because to be honest, man, fun. He has his good traits. He has his good traits that he has taught me as my father. Né? But I think it was like fear to the mom. And it was like it will never align. So I'll forever commend mothers. They are phenomenal people. They are, like I don't know, I don't want them to be strong like that, but then circumstances call them to be strong. Circumstances call them to be strong because they had to take care of their little cubs. And even if so not 50, at the end of the day, you always be your mother's child. Because let me say this, not 50 meaning 80 meaning, hey, let me find out so young like she'll have to get up because it thought ish unlike me. And if I'm 50 and I don't have mdana, peacefully not thinking about, you know. So I always commend moms, and yes, my favorite parent is my mom. Okay, my favorite parent will always be my mother. Okay, so I feel like y'all can drop down who your favorite parent is and why. Why do you feel like your mom is your favorite, or why do you feel like your dad's your favorite? Because sometimes we have daddy's girls. I would have loved to be a daddy's girl, but I don't know. Me and my dad don't really talk like that. We talk, yeah, now and then. We're like, we have fun moments, and then we have moments where we're like, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you and bury you. And then we're gonna shoot each other. There's times where we like want to kill each other, and there are times where we're like, we have fun moments. There's ups and downs. I'm not saying that my mom is not also like that. Yes, me and my mom will also fight, and then she starts screaming, and I'm also like, girl, calm down. But then we have an understanding, we have an understanding with both parents. I have an understanding with both parents. Let me just say that. I have understanding with both parents. But I already said the winner is the mother. Okay, the winner is the mother, period. Okay? So drop down in the comments who your favorite parent is and why. And maybe we can share a little bit of experience. But yeah, I feel like we've come to the end of the show. And I just love saying here and talking with you lovely people. I just want to say this. I'm grateful for the 29 subscribers. You guys are phenomenal. And I hope 29 becomes double. And double that becomes another double. And double that becomes double that. Okay? But I'm welcoming more people to the family. And I hope that, we get along. We keep it pushing. We get along. Yeah. We keep it pushing. We get along. But anyway, we've come to the end of the show, and I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, because I did. Especially if we're talking about us, girlies. I'm all for it. Okay, but here is what I have to say before I close off. Please take care of yourself. Okay, please take care of yourself. Move at the pace that you want to move at. Okay, don't be pressured. Good, okay, bad. It's pure so tenga imodo. Una 20, pure so tenga imodo. Anele sothenga indlu una 19 sibanibani uthe at the end of the day you don't know ukuthi anele wendani ukuze ukuthi athole indlu kanati. And I'm not going to discredit Anele or Siphiwe ukuthi bakwendile lokho nani nani. I'm not going to discredit the people that have reached where they want to go. Yabo? But I want you to know this. Everybody's path is different. Everybody's path is different. Your path is different from my path, right? But if you want to get there, just take it easy. Take it easy. Go at your own pace. Okay. Know that you are worthy. One thing, know that you are worthy. You are deserving. Okay. You are worth it. You are worth every chance that you give yourself. The one that we have worked. You're worth every chance. Okay, love. So I just want to say this. Take care of yourself. Move at your own pace. And don't forget to kiss your parents, because you never know when and how and all of that. So yeah, I just want to say this is this week's episode, and I will see you next week in our little comfort corner, because I am in bestie. Bye.